going on? It's Freshy Ramone. I'm sitting here with the Juke Joint. Let's get into it. Music means everything to me. It's my life. I feel like music is a universal language, you know what I'm saying? There's music, there's rhythm, there's syncopation in everything that we do. It's like air, you know what I'm saying? It's essential. I come from a jazz household. My grandfather, he was a jazz percussionist. He toured the world, Europe, Yugoslavia, like Rome, whatever, you name it. He was all over the place. Did stuff with Max Roach, Wayne Shorter. He didn't do any music with Miles Davis, but he aspired to be in Miles Davis's good graces. I mean, he met him a couple times. So Freddie Hubbard used to come to our house. I was like real young. I remember Freddie Hubbard came over one time. That was crazy. But my father, on my other side, he will always be listening to like the Daz Band and the Delphonics and you know what I'm saying, the Deal and just all those different bands. And so it's like I grew up just pretty well-rounded musically. I'd say probably about maybe 4 or 5 years old was when I like actually started trying to pursue music myself. I think I picked it up and like really took it serious, I would say probably in high school. And then from there, I just been kind of back and forth with it. So yeah, I enjoy expressing myself in any medium. Art, I think, is the greatest outlet to do that. Visual art, graphic designing, paint, mixed media, how I'm feeling at the time. If it's like a canvas or if there's anything there for me to create. Film is also one of my earlier, I guess you could say, passions. I'm creatively fried. I bounce around and I do a little bit of everything. I just like to express myself, First off, shout out to my brother Skinner, very underrated artist, one of my favorite artists. The Elijah video was supposed to be a lookbook for a collection that I had dropped called The Light Beyond the Window collection. And the day of the actual casting call, only 2 people showed up. I'm like, why don't we just shoot a music video? It ended up being Elijah, thinking like a Watch the Throne, you know what I'm saying? Like the Otis video, you know what I'm saying? Like just me and him walking down like a desolate street on Chapman. I want to say like a couple months later, they started like demolishing those buildings. That area had been abandoned for like since the early 2000s. I feel like if it wasn't for Drew and his vision, I don't think any other videographer would have been able to like really convey like the message and like what I was trying to like show. The song is for a duality album, but the video itself was duality. You got this creative, artsy like pop of color smack dab in the middle of just desolence and like just waste. It was a contrast that I was trying to like show. Got the brand, but look at where we in, like look at where we are, like look what we're surrounded by. I'm sure that like, I guess the message that I was trying to convey, I'm sure that like people understood it, without really understanding what they were understanding. Right. We talking 2008, 2009. I was working on a mixtape called the Destructo Disc. I needed somebody to make a cover for it. This guy named Glenn. He's doing this thing right now. He just started a brand called I Love the Hype. You should connect with him. I reached out to him and he was just like, he responded with $250. That was it. 18 years old, I ain't got no money. Like, by the grace of God, I got that $250. I dropped it, people was loving it. At the time they had just started the Ilthy website. It was like Fresh Boy Stephens, co-signed by Ilthy, all of that. And then from there, we just kind of created just like a friendship, a brotherhood almost. Split off a little bit, distant. I went my own way with Mantra Shop. And I mean, we see what he's doing now with Ilthy, like he's taking off. But yeah, that's my dog, This is one of the joints. This was actually like to this day, it was probably like my best like selling item. But when I was actually ready to pull the trigger to get the samples shipped here, that's when all the COVID stuff happened. The warehouse was in Wuhan, China. I wound up not getting that stuff till around June. And then the George Floyd thing happened. And then when that happened, all the protests started happening. and just like everything was just happening like it was like almost like it was supposed to happen when it happened. And I just kind of just rode that wave and just, I released it. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm seeing what's going on culturally. So let me just go ahead and drop this and see what people think. And man, people was eating that stuff up. I'm starting to get that image. And I'm like, that wasn't necessarily the image I was going for. Let me kind of ease back a little bit. I can't say I regret like not like continuing and just riding that wave. I would have gotten tired of the red, black, and green. I am still very pro-black. I'm not really as involved as I used to be. I kind of observe from afar, It's like a word or an affirmation you can use to kind of get you through certain situations. I had a blog called the Magenta Mantra. It's kind of like an outlet for like creatives who weren't really getting recognition, weren't really getting noticed. I didn't really see too many like independent blogs that were like posting independent artists. So I was like, no, I want to do something different. So I launched it, and still to this day, I mean, historically, I was shocked, but it had 500 unique hits or views. It got to the point where people were like sending me stuff in the emails like, hey, could you post this? Could you post this? Mantra Shop actually messed the website up. I want to do a shop on the blog. Whatever collaborative stuff that I may be doing with these independent artists that's posting on here. Little did I know. I didn't know what I was doing. I got on there, was messing around with it, and I ended up crashing the whole website. I had to shut the site down for a minute, and I just kind of left it where it was at. I'm gonna rock with the thing that destroyed, my initial vision. We moved here in summer of 2020. We were actually gonna make the space a recording studio. I was like, yeah, we could probably do it, but I saw a whole nother vision. Over time, I just kind of started rocking with that vision, and then we wound up coming up with this. We've been here ever since. This place meant a whole lot to me. I'm actually hopeful, for the future outside of here, because it's like less of a burden that I have to worry about. I feel like if I were to ever open another shop, everything would have to be right. Like everything would have to line up. I feel like the location of where I would like to open it has to be a little bit better. Everything just got to be better than this. It taught me a whole lot more than what I thought I knew about it. Every single Ilky store we opened, I was the manager, I guess you could say. I ran the whole store. I worked at all the next locations, worked at Journeys, Hot Topic, Pac Sun, all of that. I was nowhere near prepared, and I thought I was because I did all of that. It's different. We will still be operating. We'll be operating online. That's mantrashopcle.com. Got a new collection dropping, so be on the lookout for that. August 25th, we will be here for the last time. Gallery pop-up. We got performers. We're gonna have food, new merch. So yeah, for sure. Like it's gonna be a nice event.